so.
I mean, it is a bit risky on tyre wear because it is such a high tyre wear track. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll see people qualify on different compounds or not. But the pace difference is quite a bit. So if you are qualifying, I would suggest generally to go on the soft compound. Much better tyre I've found at least, and I've seen other races that they've been a lot quicker on the soft compound during qualifying. But I don't know. It might be some people on who have better pace might decide to go onto the primes to do qualifying, but that'll be later decided.
Indeed, the option tyres when I done my lap is I did my race last night. They lasted only 5 laps in the first stint, of course, with qualifying laps. So that's about 6 or 7 laps, these option tyres. And then it's about 10 laps for the primes. The primes being the white wall tyres, which is the medium compound. Yeah, again, there's not many people out on track. I don't know why this is. I don't know whether this is a glitch or something. But I've only got one person out on track, and that's Metal Death 69 of Ferrari. And he's gone 3 laps on one set of option tyres. I don't know why that is, but out comes Craig Senna again. Is it just 3 people I'm allowed to spectate? It seems so.
No, I'm not allowed to spectate anybody at the moment. I mean, I think that's a bit of a glitch that I'm experiencing here at the moment. Sorry about that, guys who are watching the stream about this. But that should be able to. Yeah, not the best reliability here, but hopefully that should sort itself out for the race, and it probably will do, because I think it's to do with retiring too early. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any times coming up on your screen at the moment?
No.
Well, that is another problem as well, because as I said, I've got 3 people out at the moment. I've got Metal Death, who's on 28.1, and then you've got 25.6 for Craig Senna and a 25.8 for Temper 3D, but I can't spectate them in qualifying, which is a big blow, really, because I can't spectate whether they've gone all 4 tyres off the white line, which
could be decided.
Not good for my job at all. But I will do my best here. I'm on board Temper 3D. No, he goes into the pits. I'm kind of stumped with what's going on here now. Because
it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, sorry about this, viewers. Don't know what is going on here. I mean, we don't have our usual host, Hell King Tomo, because he's not online and still hasn't come online in the last 5 minutes. So Jism is our host. He normally doesn't have any problems, but all of a sudden it's just the servers are just gone down straight down and have been chucked away.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what we can do, really. I don't even know how long's left in qualifying.
Yeah, it's not telling me either, which is very annoying. But I think that should resolve itself for the race. That would be helpful if it did.
It always seems to do so for the race. It just seems to be a qualifying glitch at the moment.
Hopefully we do have some more truthful members. So in this league, and I'd not anything against people in the higher divisions, but I would say these people are very truthful in this division. And if they do see anybody track extending or corner cutting, then I do think that they would say this person done so, especially if they had a grudge over someone. Hopefully not.
Yeah, indeed. Well, there has been some very interesting battle. Wait, the times have come up, finally.
Just for me as well.
So currently 25.618 is pole position for Craig Senna, and that's great for his championship aspirations, because, you know, he still can get the title. He had a disconnection last time out in Japan, which was terrible for him. I mean, if he didn't have that, it would be much more closer. So he's pole position at the moment, 25.618. And we've got Temper 3D second on the 25.828, so that's 2 temps. And then, well, you've got Jism in the Red Bull, who's a 28 flat, 28.070. And then we've got DWIYID. I wish he could make his name a lot more simpler. I can't. Dewey.
That's your best go then.
Can I just...
Yeah, just say that.
DWI.
Okay, then. Yeah, that's what it is.
DWI, there we go. Yeah, so yeah, he's 4th at the moment, and then with a 28.092. Then we've got Metal Death 69 on a 128.148. So we only have 5 people qualified.
Very close competition for 3rd at the moment, as you can see. And that's not even a tenth of a second between Jizz and DWI and Metal Death 69. But
this is really weird. It didn't happen last night in F4. I mean, everybody, well, not everybody set a lap time because of the atrocious tyre wear around here. But I overheard that it happened in GP3. Only 5 people qualified. It does seem to me that most of these drivers in XRL just feel that the tyre wear is so much of an issue that they just want to get fresh tyres at the beginning. This is actually going to provide you and me a problem.
yeah.
Because they haven't set a lap time, and we were tired. What we should have actually done is get a 10-second grid penalty deliberately. That would have put us both behind no matter what. We'll see what happens with the grid. I don't think it should be a problem.
Hopefully we can just pull off to the side anyway.
Yeah, we've got to pull off to the side anyway, but we shall see when we get to the race. As I said, I can't really spectate properly.
But interesting to see Craig Senna and Temper up there. Two, as you you'd see, they're 2nd and 3rd in the championship. I's the best, as far as we know, hasn't put in a lap in yet. So just the 5 that you can see on your screen now.
He's done that for quite some. He's done that for the last 3 or 4 races. He's had a very poor qualifying performance for the race, but then somehow, some way, claws his way back through. I mean, he'd done it in Singapore. He qualified right at the back, somehow managed to get back through. Meanwhile, Temper is on a lap and has just done a 125.690, goes 2nd by 7/100th of a second.
Yeah, that's very close.
Although I go on board with Craig Senna, he's now done a 25.353.
So it pulls himself further ahead than even what he was originally. So that's that's a good lap from Craig Senna, obviously. Sorry guys that are watching the stream at the moment. We are having some technical difficulties with the game. Not being able to spectate, and times not really updating the best as they could do.
There shouldn't be that long left in qualifying. So we'll be looking forward to the race. Hopefully there'll be no incidents going into the first couple of corners. It's very, very tight, these first couple of corners. 90-degree right hand, and then the hairpin in turn 2 does bunch up the cars a lot. And then they've got the long straight to battle between each other with slipstream and everything. The only thing else also is the fact that because people haven't qualified, they've got effectively slower drivers. No offence to these guys, these new drivers in DWI and Metal Death ahead of them, so they've got to pass them. It seems weird for me. I mean, I always, unless under extreme circumstances, always qualify to get track position. I mean, even if I qualify 8th or 9th, it's better than starting at the back.
Yeah, it could be crucial because you'd use quite a bit of your tyres up trying to get past people because you'd be in the dirty air. If you're starting at the back of the grid because you've taken the risk not to qualify, then you're going to be in the dirty air trying to get past people up to the position you probably would have qualified in if you had a set of lap. So that's interesting.
Do you have a piece of paper and a pen on you at the moment?
No, not right now. How come?
Would you be able to get one? Because I'll be spectating on most of the action. I need you to write down anything that's gone on over the race, just in case I forget. These guys normally tell me of any incidents, and then we decide the best course of action, which I feel is the best way to go about it, and they're fine with it. Just in case I forget anything.
Yeah, I've got a piece of pen and that up now. That's all right.
Yeah. Also, any corner cutting, track extending that you notice people do.
Yep.
Now that we've got some time to go over a few things, I'm just going to alert some people's attention to the weekend. F1 is back, of course, the real F1 season, of course, back in Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. And for XRL, Swishbone, oh no, Metal Death has retired.
No,
Oh dear, oh dear. And Caitlin Fanboys has taken pole position.
Wow.
25-2. And that's it, that's the end of quali.
Very
Well,
good.
there we go, there are the times. They've magically come up on the screen, and Caitlin Fanboy has just got, I believe that's his first pole position. That's his first pole position in XRL this season.
Good to see.
Done it by 0.111 of a second. 25-2 is a reasonable lap time, to be honest. These guys are not.
That is very good.
There we go. That's very good indeed. A nice looking helmet as well. That is definitely Williams' best grid position for quite some time. He's quite far back in the table. K2 and Fanboy. This is a gamer tag change. Used to be GBR Delta. He's now K2 and Fanboy. He changed it as a joke, really, but I thought he was going to bring it back to GBR Delta. It seems that he likes this one better. Well, that's a great pole for Delta. That's a little bit of a blow for Craig Senna, who obviously expected to get pole around here. His great run of form in qualifying. But sets us up for an interesting race.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the start of this race is you have a tight turn 1, which you can maybe fit 2 cars through, but it's that at max, and such an interesting grid off the start will spark maybe a bit of controversy into the first corner, but also going into turn 2, the gravel trap on the left hand side when you're coming out of it might be a big place if cars are trying to go 2 or 3 wide. That could cause a lot of incidents if people go into that, but a very wide straight as you're coming down, so that allows a lot of cars to go side by side down there.
Indeed, we had what was it, 3 or 4 wide going into F4 in the F4 division last night, and in divisions above. So maybe these guys can produce some drama and some good overtaking skills. Let's hope they can produce some. Fortunately, me and my friend POL Jackster are at the back of the grid, so we won't have to pull away, we'll just simply retire. But we'll just go through the grid if it was a little bit sketchy, a little bit quick, because the times just magically appeared. And there we have it, K2 Fanboy on pole position for the very first time this season. This is best qualifying session by far. And interestingly, he's the only Irishman here in the league. Well, he's the only Irishman that's put his flag on there. He's ahead of the Brits, so he gets pole position. Craig Senna is alongside him in the Toro Rosso in the front row. And then we've got Temper 3D. Temper, he must beat Ice the Best in this race if he stands any chance in this title race. Craig Senna also has to be ahead of Ice the Best, because if Ice the Best gets a good enough result and Craig Senna either does not finish or does not, well, scores lowly, everybody will score if they finish the race, because there's 10 drivers out here today.
Promotes a bit more finishing.
Yeah. Promotes a bit more finishing for these guys. You know, just get yourselves across the line, get yourselves a couple of points. But for Craig Senna, if he doesn't score very well and Eyes the Best gets like a win or second, Eyes the Best will be in F5000 no matter what, because there's only 3 more races after this. So carry on through the grid. You've got Metal Death 69. His first XRL outing gets 4th place. XRL Patronus. XRL Patronus has impressed me over the last couple of races. 8 points over the last 2 races, and then a 4th in Singapore. So we can continue his good racing form. He starts 5th. Jism in the Red Bull starts 6th. Him and Flash Student, and Flash Student is another absentee for this race. Red Bull are going to continue in their constructors because McLaren have overhauled them so far. And then we got DWY, YID. I just call him DWY for short. It's a whole lot simpler.
Not easier.
He starts 7th. He was the last person of the runners to qualify. So Eyes the Best, who starts 8th. Elite TC 1990, who starts 9th. And F1 King starts 10th. They all didn't set a lap time. So they're thinking about starting on fresh tyres, which Well, we shall see. We shall see whether they get the advantage.
So we can expect them three to go longer for the start.
Indeed. Right, I'm going to go into game chat and make sure these people are ready. And, yeah, we shall get going.
Right, so here we are then, guys. Getting ready for the race. Hopefully I have a clean turn one, as usual, but the amount of times I've said that.
I always mention it to these guys, and more often than not, they do not make turn 1 and turn 2 very easy. So we're ready for this now, for 30 laps of the Bud International Circuit around India. It's the 17th round of the Tier 6 division. Let's hope these guys can put on a good performance. But we don't have F1 speed here, but we've got PRL Jackson to provide some great commentary alongside with me. So, here we are. K2 and Fanboy on his first pole position of the XRL season. Starts on pole. He's got Craig Senna, who must have a good result here today. We've got F1 King, TC, and I's the Best at the back, all on fresh tyres. We are starting the lights in 3, 4, 5, and away we go. Straight down into the first corner now. It's a great start by K2 and Fanboy, but Craig Senna's had a shocking start. Temper going to get him around the outside. Indeed, he does. McLaren on the inside. That's I's the Best going through the field. He had a little bit of contact with a few people and he eased off. So Temper's moved into second. Craig Senna muscles his way back past the Ferrari. There's another Ferrari off wide into the gravel. It got shunted wide. K2 and Fanboy has kept the lead. Temper 3D is second. And then we got Craig Senna in third place. We've got the new boy, Metal Death, who is in fourth place, right in the thick of it. And he got a Mercedes lunging up on the inside.
XRL Patronus, very close, backed out of it in the end.
Nearly made contact. And there's a lagging Mercedes behind. There's a jumping Mercedes behind at the back. I think I's the Best is in the middle.
He's going up for F1 King.
Oh no! Everybody going wide on the track, but at least some of them are actually easing off when they do that. We've got a tour of us. We've got F1 King, who's up into 6th place.
I didn't believe F1 King actually qualified, did he? So he's done incredibly well to get up here.
With the XRL Patronus on the prime tyres is now holding Craig Senna up. Craig Senna's got to get past. Yeah, and then it goes wide on the exit, trying to get on the inside. He's on the inside now, and the McLaren's going to follow him through. They both.
Oh, they've all three went wide. Somehow managed to hold it.
Three of them go wide.
But
and then they've got another Mercedes. They're going to go 3 wide into the final corner. That's Elite TC.
I's the Best got the move, but he's got poor traction out of the corner. And the Toro Rosso.
So already we've got a gap between 5th and 6th place. It's not Craig Senna, it's F1 King who's up there in 5th place. I's the Best swarming all over the back of him. And Elite TC. All three of them started on fresh tyres. And all together, Elite TC went wide and turn 3. And I's the Best has dived on the inside of F1 King. Frantic start at the beginning.
Great start here, as you can see. There's a bit of a train here, but up the front, you can see there's a bit of a gap emerging from first to second and third, who appear to be in a battle. And then we have Metal Death 69, as you said, the newcomer.
Craig Senna dived at the inside of turn 4. Tempo, look on the outside and sold him a dummy.
Oh, looks like he clipped him.
Little bit of contact there, and Tempo, I don't know whether there was contact or whether Craig Senna went wide. It seemed a little bit of contact, but Tempo's through anyway. K2 and Fanboy's got about a couple of second lead up at the front. So it's these three pulling away from 4th place is Metal Death 69. He's running his own pace at the moment, but he's now got the fast pace Eyes the Best right behind him now. Eyes the Best have had a cracking start. Lap 2 and he's already up to 5th place as F1 King goes over the curbs there. Don't want to be doing that too often.
No, it could be crucial here if Craig Senna to try and get past. Although it is slim, his chances to get for Eyes the Best as he catches up to these lot at the front for 2nd and 3rd battling here. As he catches up, he could easily secure his promotion into F5000 today if Craig Senna gets held up too much. And at the moment, he's getting held up quite a bit by Temper, it appears.
Or lock up the tyres into turn 3. He's going to have a full barrel curve. Now DRS is active going down this straight. As behind, we've got Metal Death and Eyes the Best are now embroiled in the battle for 4th place. So Eyes the Best is making the mincemeat of these drivers in the midfield. As Craig Senna's now got the DRS, he's used about 3/4 of a bar of his curves up to 200 miles an hour. Diving up the inside into turn 4. A little bit of lock-up tyres. Gives Temper enough room on the outside. So now side by side going down into turn 5. The Temper's going to have the inside, but Craig Senna had a little bit of curves left. Can he make him on the outside? He does. He held it as well. So into 2nd place, Craig Senna, but oh dear, these guys are just got to keep it in these track limits.
Eyes the Best, meanwhile, getting up to 4th, and he's got past Metal Death 69. He's also been passed, I believe, by F1 King.
Yeah, F1 King's made his way far. So good start by Metal Death. He's dropping back through the field, but he's still there. He's in the thick of the business end. Temper 3D and Craig Senna are still battling over P2. Cato and Fanboy, he's got a couple of second lead. It's comfortable. It's not safe, but it's a bit comfortable as Craig Senna goes wide at the end of the exit. Temper 3D has now still got DRS behind him. As we now have Eyes the Best and F1 King battling over 4th and 5th place.
Oh, they're nearly going to the back of him.
Eyes the Best a little bit.
He's still going to get DRS though as he comes close to the back of him. Not going off the track either of them, and not gaining the position there, F1 King. But he's got a better run, F1 King now, and we'll have DRS off the back of Eyes the Best. But using as much, not all of his curves, I think he's saving a bit of curves for the exit of this corner coming up here after the long straight on turn 3 here. Now F1 King going up the inside, tracks the inside, has the speed, but can he get it break down quick enough? Looks like he has. And Eyes the Best now using curves on the exit, which he's saved the curves for, and that was a great plan from Eyes the Best as he's got past. Looks like he's going to make the move done. Great tactical decision there from Eyes the Best to save some curves to get back at F1 King.
So we've got a split battle here, 2nd and 3rd, Temper and Craig Senna. We've got Eyes the Best and F1 King, 4th and 5th. Although F1 King, of course, of the dirty air, is losing a bit of time. Eyes the Best goes 4 tyres way off into, what was that, turn 9 or 10. They should have corner names around here. It's ridiculous. number turn 1 and number turn 2. But they're a bit spread out at the moment. We've got a few battles going on though, as maybe the option runners' tyres are going to come off a little bit. We're on to lap 5 on this 30-lap Grand Prix. Temper still has DRS and Craig Senna, but can't seem to close the gap. And yeah, he's going wide at turn 1. Almost went all 4 tyres off. Cleveland Fanboy still leads this race. He's having comfortable at the front. Remember, he hasn't won really. No, he hasn't. He hasn't won at all actually. Can't say
interesting.
Really
he has a good lead now though, and as long as he can make his strategy work, at the moment it looks like he's got a good hand on the win at the moment.
Indeed, he's got to keep it under control. He's now got the fast Craig Senna, who must really, for his championship, win this race. He's got Eyes the Best now, who's into 4th and making a gap on F1 King for 5th place.
6th place, Metal Death, and who's that? Patronus.
That's Elite TC.
Elite TC.
That's Elite TC who's managed to go through.
He's got through, forced his way through. Metal Death not having a good... He had a decent start off the line, but he's just been dropping back and back. I don't know if that's his tyres, or he's just struggling with his own pace in the race. He did start well though. And Elite TC now up into 6th. Let's see if he can push on towards these guys ahead. And F1 King, who's this ahead? Who's that ahead? Temper's going off. And that's Eyes the Best going through. And then that was F1 King going through again. So
Temper's tyres must be absolutely
They must
shot.
be gone
Caterham
completely.
Fanboy comes in from the lead.
And so does Craig Senna. So F1 King, yeah, takes the lead, and Eyes the Best in second. The two guys who didn't qualify, I believe.
Yeah, so they're on fresh tyres, so that's alright. Chisholm is into third place. He's on prime tyres at the moment. He's keeping up at the back with of the McLaren of Eyes the Best now. So in fourth place, Caterham Fanboy will join just ahead of XRL Patronus. That was a crucial move for Caterham Fanboy. He doesn't want to get lost in Thomas High, but Patronus lunges up the inside of the turn 3, and Caterham just allows him to outbrake himself. It was more like a lunge than anything. But Patronus, desperate obviously to not let Caterham Fanboy run off with this win, gets us ahead. But luckily for Caterham, he gets the DRS on Patronus. That could have been very, very problematic for Caterham Fanboy. So Patronus lunged it up into turn 3.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get held up, Caterham Fanboy, and he wants to charge at the start of this stint, obviously, as you can see, and already putting a bit of a gap on that as well, Patronus.
Yeah, Caterham Fanboy went on to prime, so did Craig Senna on the pit stop. And Elite TC is on primes. I don't think he has stopped. Metal Death hasn't stopped and has almost spun it, went sideways. And he's got Temper 3D who has pitted. He's now on prime tyres. So as we said before, F1 King leads the race, but both him and Eyes the Best are struggling now, even though they have fresh option tyres. And yeah, F1 King is pitting on laps. Whoa, end of lap 5 and drifts it sideways. Eyes the Best, interestingly, stays out for another lap. He's got Chisholm in the Red Bull on prime tyres right behind him. He's now got a fresh bar of curves to deploy. Oh, and almost is the back of Eyes the Best. Went too fast into turn 1 and loses a lot of time. I don't think he will have the DRS detection. He might do.
And I'm on board at the moment with Temper, and he's only up to 9th at the moment. He's came onto the primes after having that awful moment at the end of his last stint, at the end of lap 5, losing 2 positions. He's only up to 9th, and that really has cost him. That mistake he made at the end of that stint, and the tyres going off rapidly for him.
Craig Senna has managed to get by XRL Patronus. XRL Patronus starting out always
goes up the inside again.
Oh, all 4 tyres locked up, but he's got it done.
Great move.
But can he make it stick on going down into turn 5?
Very defensive.
On the inside line, Craig Senna on the outside. Craig Senna's got much more fresher tyres, but Patronus
somehow manages to hold it. That's great. Oh, and they both go off very, very close.
He gets a little bit of a tap going through. This is awful for Craig Senna. Craig Senna's going to
finally goes through.
I think he let him through there, Patronus.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a little bit of a going on there, but what that's done is allowed Caterham Fanboy to get so much of a gap.
And that Eyes the Best and Chisholm battling, and Eyes the Best dives into the pits. I think that's maybe as a reaction to F1 King's pit. And Chisholm will now take the lead on the prime tyres.
He does indeed, but all he has to do now is try to make this split strategy work with the rest of the field. As Eyes the Best now goes on the prime tyres, so he's going to have fresher tyres than most of the field around him, but he doesn't have track position as Craig Senna now goes into 3rd place. And then we've got XRL Patronus in 4th. We've got F1 King. So F1 King has actually got ahead of Eyes the Best and quite a bit as well.
Side by side with Tempest coming out the pits. This is close. Turn 2. Eyes the Best has the inside line, but backs out of it. I think maybe to get DRS there. Maybe a clever move. But doesn't get a great run through turn 2 and loses a lot of traction. I don't think I think he's way too far back to make a move. But came out side by side with Tempest there, and that may be a big point in the race there.
F1 King managed to get past Patronus into turn 3, but into turn 4 they're now side by side. F1 King gets back through into 4th place. So we've got the 2 Mercedes who are on prime tyres, split strategy with everybody else, are just getting stuck right in the midfield, getting in effectively the leader's way. As Elite TC goes off the tyres there, as Metal Death is right behind, and then of course you've got Temper and then Eyes the Best. So Eyes the Best, he's still got some work to do. Having not qualified for this race, he always seems to bring some work to him.
Does a bit more work than maybe he needs to, but that may help him having much fresher tyres at the start, and again having much fresher tyres than the rest of the field at the moment. But Chisholm comes into the pits now. He's on the primes. I don't know what tyre he's going to go on. I'm watching him now as we go into the pits. And he puts on the he puts on the prime tyres. So that's,
Fanboy is now taking the lead. That's Craig
Craig
Senna
Senna's-
lost connection. No.
that's really unfortunate for Craig Senna.
Oh, that is ridiculous. That is his title hopes done and dusted now. He was 77 points behind Eyes the Best. He needed to score points, so that is effectively his title challenge over. He is going to be absolutely gutted. That is 2 races in a row in which he could have had some hefty points, and now that has dropped him out. And Eyes the Best, he's got to be smiling a little bit. Of course, these guys, they don't like the fact that people disconnect, but he'll be smiling a little bit.
He's got to be careful, and now he's having a battle now with Temper. And Temper stays on the inside. Oh, and he contact. I don't think there was any incident there. I think that was just Eyes the Best trying to get a bit of a undercut on Temper to try and get him on the exit of the corner, but it just turned in too early and clipped him. Luckily enough, there wasn't any spin outs there. But these two battling furiously here for 5th position.
Temper went all 4 tyres over on turn 8, I think that is. They've got to be careful. They're doing okay so far. I've been doing my checks, and Temper is doing it again around turn 10 and turn 11. They're doing okay so far, but they've got to be careful. Still quite a bit of way to go in this race. Still on lap 9, and they do rack up these penalties. They do rack up with these reprimands and everything else, as Temper is staring at the back now of the Mercedes of, I believe that is
Elite TC.
Elite TC, yeah.
And Metal Death 69 in 3rd. He's having a recovered his race a bit now. I do believe he pitted quite early though, so that might come back to haunt him.
He's having a solid race. He's up there.
And who's
With a solid pace.
Elite TC off by miles. He must have locked up, and he just lost 3 positions out of nowhere. Just locks up and loses them positions. Awful there. Luckily enough, Temper gets the DRS off Elite TC, but Eyes the Best still in the slipstream, coming up the outside. Tries to hang it around the outside. Does, keeps all 4 wheels on the track, and a great move at the moment. Saves a bit of curves, and he pulls away. Brilliant move from Eyes the Best around the outside at turn 3, and he can move on now to try and catch Metal Death 69 in the Ferrari.
Oh, Temper, you don't want to be doing that too often. This is championship deciding right here, but he's got to be careful. He's right behind Eyes the Best, and then catching up Metal Death 69 right now. As I said, this is tight. This is effectively title changing here. We've got Craig Senna now, who's unfortunately disconnected from this race, so he won't score. As Temper is cut awfully over that corner there.
Still staying behind Eyes the Best, and now Eyes the Best now coming close to Metal Death 69. I don't think he'll try and move down here, although the traction from Metal Death 69 has been awful. That means at the moment he won't get DRS down the main straight if he does overtake him now. It seems like he brakes early to let him through there. There was a contact, and he still gets past. Metal Death wants to... Oh no, they've locked wheels! And contact keeping Eyes the Best behind. I don't know who's going to get DRS down here. Better exit for Metal Death 69. A lot of contact in this battle at the moment. But coming down the straight, Eyes the Best... He's used all his curves to defend, and Temper might have a look at both of them here. And Metal Death, it could be 3 abreast. It's 3 abreast at the moment. And Temper, at the moment, tries it, and old Metal Death goes off and loses the position, unfortunately, there. Goes down into 5th, and who's that behind? Who's going to get him? That is Jism, who overtakes Metal Death as well.
Oh, that was potentially the overtake of the season there for Temper.
Brilliant overtake.
He made contact with Metal Death 69, so I don't think any nominations for overtake of the week will be coming his way. Meanwhile, Jism on the fresh tyres, of course, he's been in clean air ever since these guys about it. Was Temper goes so
massively wide. He's struggling to keep it on the track in these last few laps.
He is, and he goes wide again. He's racking these up, this Temper. He's got to be so careful. He doesn't want a penalty thrown at him, because there will be thrown at him. It's so far away, he gets off dust.
And at the moment, this battle for 3rd is a great one at the moment, because we have Eyes the Best with Temper's behind, then we have Jism, and then we have Metal Death 69 and Elite TC not too far behind. If he hadn't made that mistake, I believe he still would have been leading this battle, so that is interesting. Caterham Fanboy leading the race by quite some way now. F1 King trying to chase him down, not being caught behind, as there's these battles going on behind, which is slowing each other down. I've Best in third, and who's that? Is that Jism went through? No, Temper still in fourth.
No, Temper's still in fourth, and Jism has now got DRS. Temper has DRS, but he's not using it.
No, I don't believe he does. I don't believe Temper has, or it is broken, as you say. But I don't know if I's the Best has pulled out enough of a gap to not give Temper DRS, and now does get through Jism. No way of defending from that Temper, and that's fourth place at the moment for Jism. Going wide again, Temper.
On. I don't know whether it's going wide or just gaining an advantage. Oh, there's all four wheels again over there. I'm gonna have to keep. Oh.
Yeah, it's not good to see.
Temper. Come on. It's I know. I'll keep on bugging on about it, but it's something that I was said. I'm not gonna be lenient with these guys. I mean, everybody is gonna. You will see that you guys that follow XRL, you're going to see the stewards report come out, and it's going to show quite a lot of penalties with this track. It's saying as Temper 3D goes into the pit, so that's 12 prime tyres. He's only gone 7-8 laps on these primes, which is not good at all, and he's going on to another fresh set of primes. So
it may force a harder stint through. And where does he come out? I think he's going to come out just behind this battle here.
At the back.
Yeah, comes out at the back.
Out right at the back. The fortunate thing for him, he's now got clean air, so he's now can settle down and get some good laps on him. But what he mustn't do, of course, is abuse the track limit. So we got these two.
And DWI and Patronus.
Yeah, Patronus, XRL Patronus.
And already
the lackluster race so far compared to
already has the move done at the moment. Going down the straight, he has DRS. Just going wide DWI, unfortunately for him. This is a net battle for 9th or 8th position.
Interesting enough, we've got in front of them, we've got Elite TC in the other Mercedes and Metal Death in the other Ferrari, who are battling over 5th and 6th. So, I've mentioned before, there's only 20 points between Ferrari and Mercedes, effectively for the wooden spoon of the league, last place in the Constructors, where you do not want to be after a long season. Both these teams have had a troublesome season so far. The Ferraris, they haven't had a regular driver. Elite IMW2 Elites hasn't been here. F1 Originals, who's the other permanent drivers, have bad connection issues.
And we can see Caterer Fanboy and F1 King have both pitted in, so that means Jism takes the lead with I's the Best in second. Both of them going wide.
Metal Death and Elite TC both going into the pits at the same time. There's a pit stop battle between the two. Metal Death goes on to options, interestingly, and makes the jump on the Mercedes of Elite TC, so he's got ahead of that. Yeah, Jism has now taken the race lead. It's not going to be the net race lead. He's now got I's the Best chasing him down, effectively for third place. Caden Fanboy, we haven't really spoken that much about him, apart from the fact that he's had a controlled race so far, looking for his very first win in XRL this season, I think, ever, actually. And you've got F1 King also. If he finishes in second, that'll be his best performance to date. It'll actually be his first podium.
Doing a fantastic race so far, F1 King.
Yeah, it'll be his best performance so far. It's been a 4th place in Italy. So I haven't spoken to him in an interview, so potentially 2 new people I can ask questions at the end, which is always good for me to have, as XRL Patronus running in 5th place at the moment.
I's the Best of Jism, but they stay out. Jism does not go into pits. Neither does I's the Best. They both stay out.
Right. Jack, I've decided I'm going to have to keep an eye on these drivers because there's too many doing this, too many going through track limits. So if you keep an eye on the best battles that's going on, and I keep talking, I'll keep quiet for a second. I'll just note down who's doing what.
At the moment, Caterer Fanboy rapidly catching I's the Best on them new tyres. Caterer Fanboy. I believe they're both on the same compound, but yeah, they are both on the medium compound, but the pace difference with the old and new tyres obviously massive. But Eyes the Best not deciding to do a qualifying lap as well, and now a whole pit stop theoretically behind Caterham Fanboy. Not too many battles going on there, so we'll do a quick roundup of the grid of the standings so far. Jism and Eyes the Best yet to pit for the second time in first and second. And then we have Caterham Fanboy, theoretical race leader, in third, having a good race so far. Consistency has been key for him, and F1 King as well, who did not decide to qualify, and he's made that work. Eyes the Best not so much, but F1 King's made that work brilliantly so far, going from 10th to what is a theoretical second for him. Temper in 5th, but a theoretical 3rd for him, and he's got a big undercut on Eyes the Best and Jism. And we have XRL Patronus in 6th. He's not made a second pit stop either yet, and he's on the prime tyres. Elite TC in the other Mercedes, leading both the Ferraris, remember, with that constructors battle, as Michael said, for the wooden spoon trophy that they're going to be fighting for. And at the moment, both the Mercedes, XRL Patronus has only pitted once, but Elite TC in 7th, and Metal Death 69 and DWI all pitted twice. Metal Death on the option tyres, hopefully, I think he's going to try and get a bit more of a pace advantage on the two Mercedes in this stint. And Craig Senna, unfortunately, as you can see in 10th, disconnecting from the race. Very unfortunate for him, and his title hopes almost demolished through that. And any decent result for Eyes the Best has really put the title hopes beyond doubt. Beyond doubt of Craig Senna clinching the title.
It's an unfortunate thing because the last few races he has been showing good race form, but these things happen, and the Codemasters, I hope you fix your game for 2014.
Yeah, some dedicated service would be nice.
We do not want next season. Do not want next season to be hampered with disconnections. That's, oh dear, oh dear.
And Caterham Fanboy has got past Eyes the Best. So a whole pit stop and then some ahead of Eyes the Best, who still hasn't pitted, and in the pits comes Jism. And Caterham Fanboy at the moment has a great lead, as you can see F1 King behind Eyes the Best. I don't know if he'll get held up too much, because that might be big if there is any competition for race lead. Now F1 King going up the inside of Eyes the Best. No, and stays behind. DRS now though for F1 King, and he maybe latch onto the back of Eyes the Best, but that straight line speed for Eyes the Best seems to be great round here, around India. And F1 King diving up the inside now, and doesn't have any curse to defend off the exit of turn 3 now, Eyes the Best. Only has slipstream, I don't think that'll be enough. Closing in a bit, but not enough, and F1 King has the move done. And first and second restored back to what they were before pit stop. Eyes the Best, I think his tyres are really going now. And you can see from this graphic I'm on at the moment, tyres do not look good. You can see the graining in the centre. Temper in 4th, and he's got a massive gap in front and behind, but his track extending and corner cutting has not been pleasing this race.
Oh God! Oh my God! I'm watching one guy, and it's just 6 times in one lap. 7 times. Oh, I know his tyres. No, his tyres aren't gone because he hasn't pitted. Oh dear. 7 times in one lap. Ouch. Right, let's move on.
Jism at the moment in 5th, and he looks to have had a very consistent race as well at the moment.
He always seems to be there or thereabouts in the Grand Prix as of late. Box up his tyres going into turn 3 there.
Eyes the Best still not pitted. Don't know when he did pit. I'll check that now. And it looks like he pitted on lap 7. So that
11 laps.
Yeah. Although he may be trying to get one less stop, and if he does try one less stop, remember he's only about a lap and a bit, or a pit stop and a bit behind the battle for the lead. So that could work in his favour, but the tyre wear is not going to do well for him at the moment. He's fallen so far behind. He was maybe 5 or 6 seconds ahead of Catering Fanboy and F1 King when they pitted in, and they've just flown past him. No chance of moment for Ice the Best in third at the moment, just looking a bit dead on them tyres. Don't know if he will put in this lap. Temper catching up to him as well, and he's taking advantage of the fact that Ice the Best is dead tyres. And let's see if he pits in, and finally he does decide to pit in. Ice the Best pitting in 4 new tyres. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. Started on the options, of course. If he goes on, he does go on to the primes now. So it looks like he's going to try and take these to the end, which is going to be a massive task. That's going to be even further than what he just done on the last stint, and he was really struggling. So I don't know if he'll maybe try for a short option stint at the end, or if this will be it for his pit stops. But he'll do. At the moment, it looks like the 3-stop will be the average amount of pit stops that the field will do. DWI in a battle at the moment for 8th position, where XRL Patronus, the last 2 in the field. Haven't been able to get much on them. There's been a few battles across the field that we've seen otherwise in them. But DWI on what is his first race, not doing too great, but I don't think he'll be disappointed with 4 points. Patronus trying to get DRS now down the main straight to try and catch him on the different tyres. He was on the soft compound, whereas DWI on the medium compound and making the apex easily. Patronus made that look so easy, that move. Down the inside into turn 3 and easily has the traction there. I think that's an advantage there. ODWI. I's best in 7th, as you can see. And Elite TC now is on the back of Metal Def 69 in his first race as well, which has been consistent and in my opinion has impressed me in 5th position. Now the battle between Mercedes and Ferrari. A bit further up the field this time though. And then 2 at the back, as they are in constructors. And in the race as well. I's the best, remember, hitting theoretically one more time in the end, as they will still need to pit. I's the best, I think he's going to attempt to try and get to the end here. Jism at the moment in 4th, I think this is Tempers ahead of him. He has close in on Tempers, I don't know if he has DRS, let's see. Now, Tempers using up all his curves, and no, he does not have DRS, so Jism saving 2 curves, he does. Not much going on in the field at the moment.
F1 King is chasing down Caton Fanboy for the lead here.
That's closed in, definitely. I can see on the map he has closed in by quite a lot.
Bit, but it's only gradually gradually closing down.
Nice, the best coming on to this battle here, that is between Metal Def 69 and Elite TC.
Oh, Jesus Christ, how close did he go? Sorry, I'm doing my checks here, and some of them are just so... Oh, so it's such a fine line. Such a fine line, whether they've gone all 4 tyres off or not. It was like an inch or something. F1 King is definitely closed down on Caden Fanboy.
Yeah,
this battle for the lead is not over.
And it might come down to strategy, who picks when, and an undercut could benefit, but as we saw, as we've seen with I's the Best, the tyres just went off, and we saw with Tempers at the end of their first stint as well. He lost a couple of positions just immediately.
Jism and Temper side by side. Just use the DRS right round the outside of turn 1, or all 4 tyres on the exit. Temper's looking to the inside here.
Staying behind him, Jism at the moment keeping the position. A terrible exit from Tempers.
Oh, Temper, dear. I think his tyres are trying. I think he's trying to leak those out for an option stint, because he really should have pitted again. But Jism got much better traction out of there. So consolidates 3rd place.
Got DRS, but he's easily out of DRS at the moment.
5th, 6th and 7th. 5th, 6th and 7th.
Yeah, and I's the Best, who of course is through extra. He's done his last pit stop. These two yet to do it at the moment. 6th and 7th here, which is Metal Def 69 and Elite TC. Contact massive there, and both of them going wide, picking up marbles on their tyres. Elite TC has it at the moment. I's the Best is stormed off ahead of them, but oh my gosh, and Metal Def 69 still trying to hold it. Incredible. How has this not ended up in an instant yet? And backs off, I think, there. Has to cut the corner as he went wide.
Corner horribly.
I don't believe he meant to do it. I think he just went wide there and couldn't make the corner. No, going off now, and I think now his tyres have gone, and I think he'll have to pit in this lap. Oh, and go to the front, and Caterham Fanboys went for the undercut, and he's pitted in. F1 King takes the lead of the race. This may be big, and if F1 King can put in a good in lap, I would suppose it would be, because unless he wants to go a long way on these tyres, but I doubt he will. I think he'll try and pit in this lap to respond to Caterham Fanboys box, and that'll mean that he needs to put in a great in lap. But he has been going quicker than Caterham Fanboy in the last stint, so might not be that much of an undercut for Caterham Fanboy, but we'll see. Jism in second at the moment, and Caterham Fanboy has came out into third with no traffic in front of him, no one behind him pressuring him, which is good. And he's come onto the prime tyres obviously here, and he's going to be quite comfortable to take them to the end. I's the best though, not going to be comfortable to take his tyres to the end. I believe he'll have to do maybe 13 or maybe even 14 laps on his tyres. It's very incredibly difficult to get them to the end, and he might be passed by quite a few cars going towards the final few laps of this race, because his tyres will be maybe 3 or 4 laps worse, even though he's on the same compound. Temper at the moment in 5th, and he's having a battle with XRL Patronus, but pulling away from XRL Patronus he is at the moment. And now coming into the pits is F1 King as a response. Let's see where he comes out, how far behind he will be. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Get to the wrong person, but Jism at the moment stays in first. And Caterham Fanboy it looks like he's got quite a big undercut still in the pit exit lane, and he's got a massive undercut, and at the moment consistency at the moment is key for Caterham Fanboy. He's got pole, and at the moment will take it to a win. Remember, Jism at the moment still has to pit ahead of Caterham Fanboy, and he has a massive lead, almost half of the main straight down, or the back straight. He has the lead here. Brilliant lead for Caterham Fanboy. Slightly fresher tyres for F1 King, but unless a massive mistake is made by Caterham Fanboy, then at the moment he has this race wrapped up. Now, it looked like he did have a great grip around the win of this race immediately. I was the best behind F1 King, and I don't know if F1 King got held up by the best for the first few corners. If he did, that may be a bit more crucial to the race lead, but at the moment that looks like a dead heat for the... or not a dead heat, the opposite of that, for the win. I's the best in 4th, just has to hold on to his tyres. I don't think he'll want to push as much as he is at the moment, because he needs to hold on to them. He's going an incredibly long way on them. Back Temper in 5th, nobody near him, and he's had a pretty boring race for the last few laps. No one really near him. Patronus, same thing. And now Metal Death, who's having a battle with Elite TC. Metal Death on his first race, having quite a few battles in the midfield. This is quite interesting here. But he's holding it at the moment. He's holding it on the track too well, but he's holding the position well at the moment, and not too many extends though. So. Going to come out ahead, but he looked tight. Caterham
Fanboy has just taken the lead off of Jism, going into turn 4.
Going into turn 1, Patronus is at the moment behind DWI, but have much fresher tyres. He's been onto the options actually, so I don't know if he'll struggle on the last lap with the wear. Won't be easy on the last lap, and as you said, Caterham Fanboy taking the what is the race lead at the moment, but Jism having to do one more pit stop, and I believe if he wants to go to the options to the end, I'd say this lap would be the best lap to go in to optimise the length that he wants to go on them. Unless he can take them tyres that he's on at the moment longer, which is the medium compound.
Whether he can try and leak out an option stint at the end.
Caterham Fanboy has it absolutely humongously at the moment, and yeah, Jim does pit in, and it does look like he's going to go onto the soft compound, which is the option tyres for this track. So on the option tyres, I see where he'll rejoin. In 4th at the moment, coming down the exit here. Will he lose the position to use this? This is Tempered, I believe, maybe. yeah, yes, Tempers who came out ahead using one of the much fresher tyres though. So at the moment, he will have the position over Tempers at the end, because he should be able to catch him and take the position on the last couple of laps. And the pace difference with Sim has been quite a big difference in my opinion at the moment. And I's the best. Looks like he's been losing quite a bit of time to Temper behind, but hopefully he doesn't lose too much time for his sake, because he has to try and go. And at the moment, I say these from here on, it's going to be difficult to get to the end, because he's been on these tyres maybe 8 or 9 laps already in this stint, and to take them 5 more to the end is going to be incredibly difficult. We're going to skip to the back of the field now, as I can see on the mini map. Some battles going on. This is Metal Daff and Elite TC battling between the Mercedes and the Ferraris. This is really good for the constructors here.